welcome. I'm Bonnie Bruder and you're watching AskBonBon TV, real conversations about what matters most, where we bring you the people and the tools to design a life that you love. Today I'm very excited to introduce you to our guest because we are talking about something that is super exciting to me. It's near and dear to my heart, but not only mine. I've been able to share her gifts with many of you viewers and people in our network, and it truly is a game changer. So today we are talking about style and fashion, and we have Miss Donna Blank, who is not only my stylist, but a stylist to the stars. So Donna, thank you so much for being here today.
Of course, I'm glad to be here.
So what's the biggest mistake people make with fashion?
I believe actually it's not necessarily fashion, it is styling, and it's being intimidated and finding who they are and just incorporating their personality in their clothing and just being confident in whatever it is that they want to portray in what they wear on a daily basis.
That's so interesting. You know, we've all heard the saying, you look good, you feel good. And that's so true, especially when you're put together and you're styled. It changes the way that people react to you.
Exactly.
And react to yourself. I know before I had worked with you, just kind of putting stuff together, I thought, oh, that matches that. But ever since I had worked with you, I literally get comments daily on the street from men, from women, from people in the subway are like, great shoes! And the shoes were there before, but I think now because the outfit is styled and put together, people are noticing and commenting. Is that right?
Right, that's exactly it, and I love hearing that. What it is sometimes people just miss the mark, and it's just a little guidance and tips that someone like myself coming into your life kind of point you in the right direction, help you piece everything together. And sometimes you may not know that you're wearing wrong colors for yourself, or you're not mixing right patterns or proportions, and your brain may not work in the way that someone like myself does. And it's once you put these things in motion for yourself, it kind of clicks, and you feel confident once you put yourself in these combinations and you see yourself in a mirror and you see why it works. And then once it's a comfortable combination and you see, wow, this is something I never would have put together, but now it works, I'm not quite sure, but I could totally do this. And you walk down the street and you're walking with your shoulders held back and your head held high, and that's what people see. It's more of the confidence, because before you probably wore the same exact thing, but your posture was different and you weren't so confident, and you probably weren't really sure what you were wearing, and you weren't focused on that.
Yes.
So
very true. Now you have a very interesting background. Can you tell our viewers just a little bit about your history and where you've come from, and a couple of the exciting projects that you've worked on?
Sure. It's all over the map, actually. I have worked at Vera Wang. I started in bridal. I worked with bridesmaids, and that's a very interesting role to work. It's all kinds of different walks of life all at once. And then I worked in menswear, and I was in wholesale, and that gave me a whole nother perspective, and it was tailoring and a lot of different fabric that I really fell in love with, which led me to something else later in life. Then I got exposed to wardrobe styling in the celebrity world. I worked on different types of shoots for different campaigns. I worked on a Maybelline print ad, I worked on a commercial shoot, and then I went back to bridal. I worked at Pronovius, helped them open the flagship store here in New York, and then I went back and started working with a celebrity stylist, and I worked with some socialites here in the city, and we worked with the E-Network, and then my husband and I started our own menswear line, and that was something that I really enjoyed and opened my eyes to all kinds of different things. I really love styling men and the tailoring and helping them mix different fabrics and patterns, and really showing them how it makes a big difference in wearing something that fits you as opposed to buying off of the rack and having something that's off the shoulder that doesn't fit you. Makes a huge difference in how a man presents himself in the workplace. And also, like with the blazer that doesn't fit him right on the weekend, you know, in the dating scene, does the same thing as far as boosting his confidence and trying to find the right woman, you know, in the dating world. So it all comes back to the confidence and self-esteem when you're getting dressed, and it's very interesting to be part of that with people, and the different types of people that you meet. You think, wow, this is a powerful person in their different industries, or you may think that that's how they are, and then when it comes to fashion, they're just like, I have no clue what I'm doing, please help me. And then you help them in this one aspect, and you see how it boosts their lives in so many other realms, and they just feel, wow, that one thing was lacking and it has helped me tenfold. So it's really great to be a part of different people's lives.
Fantastic. So how do you work? If somebody is watching and they're interested in reaching out to a stylist, but maybe are thinking, oh, that's for celebrities or that's for people with tons of money, how do you start to work with somebody?
Right, I get that actually quite a bit. I know that it just seems very intimidating as it is being in New York fashion. Everybody thinks that it is all high-end, which isn't the case. I work with all kinds of brands, budget, mid-market, and high level. So as far as reaching out to me, you can email me personally. I can give you that information in a little bit, but I work with different budgets. You tell me what it is that your price points are, and then I can then you suggest different retailers that would be good for you, designers, things of that nature, and then we work from that. Also, I always start my clients with a closet audit. You went through that.
I did.
And then from there, I know how much we have to work with, what you can keep, what we can get rid of, and if you're somebody on a tight budget, we'll try to salvage as much as possible and work from that. Somebody with a higher budget, we can, you know, have some more wiggle room. But all of my appointments, we have a 2.5 hour, 3 hour starting point, and it's a $250 investment is what I say it is, you know, because it's going to better your life from the get-go. And I call it a purge, because once you're done, you feel so much better, I feel like.
Yes.
Right? It's
absolutely. And what I love about you that is different, I've worked with different stylists and colors and so forth in the past, and you know, you might save up this money and you have a session and it's $1,000, and then they're recommending, you know, you need this Versace, you need these Prada, and you're like, I barely could pay your fee.
Right.
So I love that you work with people where they're at. That's one of our big mottos here with coaching, is we meet you where you're at and then we take you where you want to go. So it sounds like you do the same in fashion. You know, hear what their style is, what they want ultimately, but you start with where you are and then you move in that direction. Exactly.
And, you know, after that, I am a big fan of working off of referrals, and you know this. I like to work with people as far as, I think this is a necessary thing for people. Not everybody gets it, as far as their brains just don't work in this way, but they really either feel like they need it once they get this, you know, experience, and they're like, well, now I've had it once, like, okay, next season, what do I do? But I may not be able to afford it. So I offer people referral-based credit. So that's a big help for a lot of people who might be on a tight budget. So that's another thing I like to offer.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So what are a couple tips? What are some things that people can do that are watching that maybe, aren't ready to leap out and book an appointment with you, but they can just, implement in their life right away?
So you definitely want to dress for your body, and that means not looking at labels. You don't necessarily want to pay attention to sizes. That always changes depending on stores and designers, and you need to put on the clothes. So a lot of people don't like trying on clothes. Unfortunately, until you know and are loyal to a brand, you have to try it on. And once you put on the clothes and know something that fits you, there are going to be times that off the rack isn't exactly for you, and that's most of the time. Invest in a tailor. Things may fit you everywhere except for the hem is too long or the waist may gap a little bit, and that's okay. Just make sure that the garment is worth the investment to get the tailor. If it's something that's really inexpensive and it's a cheap material, then it may not be worth that. So, but fit is everything. Fit is the key. If it's not fitting you well, you're gonna look disheveled, or people are gonna look at you like something's quite not quite right. So fit is everything when it comes to getting dressed in the morning. So
fantastic. Now, we have a very global audience. I know that I have coached myself over 7,000 people in 5 different countries around the world, and we have viewers that are in dozens of countries. So I understand you work with people over Skype, is that right?
I do, yes. So I have had several clients over Skype, like she was saying. I do closet audits and I do online shopping for clients, everything thanks to technology. I would give you my Skype information. We can do also Google Hangout. We have done that as well, whatever your preference is. And we would go through your closet. It's a very interesting process. The only thing, unfortunately, is I can't be there to reorganize your closet like my local. That's the only thing. So.
But you can guide them through it.
Exactly. So
good. Well, we could talk about fashion and style all day. It's becoming one of my favorite topics.
Yes.
But it's time to do my fall wardrobe audit. So I'm very excited about that. But how can people find you if they are watching and they are interested in booking you on a Skype session or New York based? How can they get in touch with you?
Right. So I would suggest you to email me directly. My email is donna@dblankstyle.com, or you can go to my website. It's www.dblankstyle.com, and there's a contact tab. You can go there and email me directly, and we can communicate and decide what is the best way to communicate. If it's an online appointment, Skype, if it's I travel to you, and then we'll go from there.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, of course.
And as all of you know, the real conversations that matter most happen over on my blog, so we have a challenge for you. Donna and I would like to invite you over there at bonnieandbruder.com. Comment on this video and let us know what your biggest fashion tip is. Thank you everybody for watching. We look forward to hearing your fashion tips, and go out and create you.